Okay, we're recording the screen. Do you want to explain what we're seeing here, Pattie?
This is the ensemble monitoring of the CMEs. The one on the left, as you look at the screen, that's looking from overhead the soil system. The next one is looking along the plane of the ecliptic, so you can see how it comes out. And then the third one is if you're looking from outside Earth's orbit, looking in towards the sun, and the yellow circle, that's Earth. This is the CME that's coming, and they're wiping this data.
Right, so
everything as of the 17th onward is currently being wiped.
Okay, so tell me, let's go back a bit. Who's they?
NASA.
Okay, so NASA are wiping this. Why are they wiping the information? Because it's an incoming CME?
Yeah.
Okay, do we know what side of the planet it's going to hit when it comes in?
This is going to hit in basically 3 types of waves as it comes in, and it's going to start at 12:32 p.m. on the 19th. I mean 12:32 a.m. on the 19th, and it's going to last for more than 20.4 hours.
Okay.
It's like 3 waves, so everybody's getting this.
Okay, and what impact will that have on the planet?
Web outages, cell phone outages, that sort of thing.
Right, okay. So we won't get, it's not kind of a coronal mass ejection where we're going to have an EMP or anything like that?
No, but this is going to screw up internet big time.
Right.
It's similar to what happened 11 days ago now. We had another one like this. A ship came out the back, tried to sneak out the back entrance of the gate in the sun and got destroyed. So we got a couple of waves then, because one was the initial event and the other one was the ship blowing up.
Okay, so just give us that time again when it's going to hit. Tomorrow at what time?
19 at 0:24 in the morning.
Right, is that Eastern Standard Time or West Coast?
Let me see what they do. They call it global time, so they don't give they don't give a location on this.
Okay.
They call it global time. So it's NASA, I would think, which is Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, Eastern Standard Time. So 24 minutes past 12 Eastern Standard Time.
In the morning, yeah.
In the morning, okay.
It's going to come.
Well, we're normally 5 hours ahead, so that would be about 5 a.m. GMT over in over in Ireland. Give or take around 5 a.m. So that's 5 a.m. Sunday morning when this is going to happen.
They had this all plotted out on a graph and everything, the waves and everything, and those data signals are now empty.
Okay, so they're deleting this information because they don't want people to know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe they're concerned that it's going to have more of an impact than what we realize.
That's a good question. Is it gonna? I mean, I've got the live Soho and stuff on here as well. There's been a lot of battles going on. I'll show you that. Let's do the. You can see, there's. I mean, there's so much going on that you can see ships popping up all over the place. Fire.
Okay, and NASA, why are they leaving this up? I know you said they're changing the address.
3 and 4. They haven't been showing this to anybody. It's got everybody pissed off.
Well, okay, so this is not supposed to be out to a live feed to the public, no?
Oh. Hang on, I'll stop it at one of the frames to give you an idea of how. That big ass blast. Right there. Well, this thing doesn't stop what I want. Look at that.
Okay, just 1 sec. Just hold that because I'm going to do a screen thing here.
This is the kind of, you know what I mean? They don't want this out there.
Yeah. Well, obviously the concern that it's going to have a major impact on.
That's right. There's so much stuff going on now that there's no way they can cover up for this, so they just cut out Soho C3 entirely. And they're not even showing it on the SOPO site. It's just a blank screen.
Okay, have you heard anything else, Pattie, about people getting things ready or any troop movements or anything like that to kind of coincide with what's going on with this CME?
No.
I've picked up stuff on Facebook already on mine.
I was offline for 10 days. They actually took out the server that runs my internet. So I was 10 days without even having the web.
Okay.
So I'm just getting back up and trying to, catch up and see what's going on, and then I come across this stuff.
Okay, that's interesting. This is recording at the moment. Is there any other stills or information you want to show us so we have a copy of it?
I'm actually sending you some there. There has been some reports, just so you know, and this is Clanmother Karen McDonald talking. I'm just in Saskatoon right now, just doing some stuff with the synchrotrons and the connections to the CERN and the CMVs and stuff here before I get out to Ottawa. But suspicious observers, Ben Johnson, has just been reporting for the last 24 hours as well. I sent him some stuff on Facebook, and I know they've got a YouTube now. It's Suspicious Observers, and it's starting to get out there. But there's 2 solar alerts now for also a Mexico earthquake as well. As of to date right now from Ben Davidson.
This is the other thing I've got. There are some ships here in our orbit around Earth that are providing sort of a backup shield.
Okay.
To try and ward off the worst of this. Let me do the live on this. You can see, because we've actually had our front of our shield collapse entirely. See?
Yeah. Is this got to do with HARP or has it got to do with CERN?
There's issues with HARP too, because HARP is contributing to this, and I've tracked that as well. The pulses that are coming out of, and how it's screwing up our magnetic field. You can see, let me see if I can get this one open for you here. And completely, when they do a discharge, it completely screws up our magnetic field.
Yeah.
And like I said, this data plot on the server has already been wiped.
Okay.
So, I mean, I did some screen captures the other day, but not the really important, this is going to be out of date, and if it'll even open.
Okay.
They're basically not letting me share pictures at this point, but you can see you get the pulse coming out and then the collapse of the magnetic field.
A couple of weeks ago, there was supposed to be an issue. I don't know whether they were messing around with HARP or the Gulf Stream, but we were experiencing satellite issues, satellite signal issues over here in Europe, and just kind of intermittent.
That's this. When this colliding and pouring right through.
Just say that again, Pattie. You broke up.
When this collapses and you have no black lines out in front at all, you have pure ionizing radiation coming right in, and that just messes up all uplinks with satellites.
Right. Okay.
I think that's why they got the ship there, so you don't die from it.
Yeah. Well, if the shield is down, that means the radiation is going to be quite high UV.
Yeah, UV. Well, we've got UV A, B, and C pouring right through now, and there's actually scientists that have actually taken that information I gave them, went out there and did field tests, and have proven it. We're not supposed to get UVC on the surface at all, and we're getting a level 4 now, and that can kill you.
Okay.
Cumulative issue.
Okay. Well, that's it. That's interesting. I think we just have to see.
When you make nuclear rods, I don't know if you know this, but the nuclear agencies are, they don't have to pay any attention to the CFC output laws. They're exempt. And most sites that make nuclear rods are pouring out more than 800 tons a year of CFCs. Mm. So we have no ozone left.
And they give out to us about our carbon footprint, and this is going on with the CFCs.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay, I think we're going to have to just see what happens. What I'll do is I will. Is there any other information you want to show us before I start recording?
This before it gets wiped out, because I can't close this. If I close this out of this, the data's gone. I've already looked at some other plots, and they've been wiped.
Right. Okay.
Because they had this all graphed out,
okay,
including the time and everything, and that's gone. It's just a blank block.
Okay, well, what I'll do is I'm going to save this now, and I'm going to get it up on YouTube, and I'll send you over a link. And
Patty, can you? Yeah, I
we,
was going to ask you if we've got a few minutes, Alan. Is that Patty's got some correlation between also the CERN and what's happening to the magnetic sphere. We can actually see where the CERN was being fired. Patty showed me about 6, 7 still photos, and we could actually see the correlation between the CERN and the loss of the magnetic sphere. Yeah, those ones, Patty, if you could, because Alan's taping this, so we can get this on YouTube right away.
yeah, we had Daniel on last week, and Daniel was telling us about the multiple versions of CERN. You know, Alice and a couple of others.
Atlas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sitting here, the synchrotron here is connected to this in the University of Saskatchewan. I went for a visit there, actually an inspection on December the 2nd on Wednesday in the afternoon. And it's actually, they've got, like, if you can imagine, aluminum foil around the pipes, putting out aluminum probably 26 and radioisotopes. It's very unstable here. These are mini CERNs at all these synchrotrons, Alan. I don't know if you're aware of that.
I'm gonna look.
And they're all interconnected through probably the AI and stuff. So I'm quite concerned, for my children and myself. And I haven't been feeling well since I've been there either.
Yeah.
Nosebleeds and all sorts of stuff, which is, I never get stuff like that or headaches or what we're seeing in here for changes in the magnetic sphere as well affects everyone here in Saskatoon at the University of Saskatchewan. So there was many violations of international peace treaties trying to create universal blood types and all sorts of things are being played with here. I mean, it's insanity here. These things are acts of war and treason and terrorizing and genocide on the people here.
Are they ramping things up at the moment?
Yeah.
Are they ramping things up now at the moment? Do you think they're ramping things up to make it because we know they're on a final push. We know the back's against the wall, and everything seems to be ramped up and speeding. We can see it over here in Europe. I'm sure it's happening over there in the States. That maybe it's their last push to try and get what they want before they collapse. Maybe, and this is the push that's going on at the moment.
Well, I was quite happy that we're able, in that essence, I was able to make the connections through the light source, what they've been doing in all these satellite centers. So they really are mini CERNs, whether we call it Atlas and Atlas or something, or they call it Vespers, they call it Totem, they call it this is one of the largest, Hadron Colliders here too at the University of Saskatchewan. So I mean, I was able to make that correlation and realize the circle ring, and then I found the arrays and potential, there are deep tunnels that go underneath. But I mean, this ionizing radiation and changes in the magnetic sphere, I mean, this is what they're doing here as well to create portals. I mean, it's affecting the general health of everything. And then the water that's being used from the University of Saskatchewan is off my lands and stuff at Cyprus. This is unlawful and illegal what they're doing.
Yeah.
They have no authority to be doing that.
Yeah.
It's an international incident, and I've taken it to Alfred, and I've taken to some other places now, and I put out about 45.
Let me know when you get my share screens back.
Good things. Yeah, there we go. Patty's just showing you the connection between
See the spike?
It's affecting our atmosphere, which is going to make this CME even more penetrating.
You get the spike, the break in data, and then the collapse.
Right. So what?
Look, if you go look at the CERN output, there it is.
Okay, so we're not talking about a Carrington effect, are we?
A mild one.
Okay.
Not that it's gonna. We might maybe lose a transformer or two somewhere.
Yeah.
This is mostly gonna screw up all communications. And then there's this. It could be worse if CERN decides to do a dump at that point.
This is wonderful data. So if we can correlate even the two of them, because I mean, that does affect what's going on in the environment with the CERN and the synchrotrons and the loss of the magnetic sphere.
When they do a filter, that correlated with what is going on in our ionosphere.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I'm going to.
It's not coincidence that they. Yeah.
This just makes these kind of events much more impactful and much more detrimental and much more destructive, because they're allowing deeper penetration if we have no magnetic sphere and no shields.
Well, you know about this 3 days. I'm sure the two about this predicted 3 days where, and it's been mentioned by a few people about staying in your home for the 3 days because of what's going to be happening. And the sun is one of the things, the actual radiation or UV from the sun. Now, I don't know whether this is anything got to do with it, because whether this is natural or man-made, I mean, maybe it's they're using HARP and it's antagonizing or having an effect on the sun.
Well, HARP doesn't affect the sun. It does affect the Earth, though. That's heats up our ionosphere.
Okay.
And Tesla, there are bad ways they can use this. That's why Tesla, who originally developed all this technology, gave bits and pieces of it to the leaders of every nation on the planet. He didn't give it to anyone because it can be used for harmful stuff. And apparently they got a hold of the whole package.
Yeah. Okay.
By basically taking over all the governments around the planet.
Well,
run it.
And I think this is, I just wanted to thank you, Ellen, for getting this out, because former Sergeant Pattie Brassard with the U.S. Freedom Team here, and also set up the computers and stuff for the NASA Space Lab and stuff and created them. It's been monitoring all the different data and stuff, as has been the other third party that we've been doing a lot with is Sergeant Daniel McDonald III, so with the U.S. Air Force and Unacknowledged Special Projects. So all of us have been watching this, especially very heavily the last month. So especially with what we were the witnesses to the CERN incident for the breakdown. It appears that there's 2 CERNs now and other things going on. And Dan also was able to correlate that there's been it looks like possibly a fake site that's been put out to the public as well. So we're just investigating that because it looks like there's 2 CERNs and another website that the public is getting data on that we're able to kind of bypass through as well.
okay.
So that has its effects as well.